Hello everyone, welcome to Numeriq Learning. In the Do Math With Me series, we are in day 51 and currently practicing questions from some applications of trigonometry, which is the 9th chapter of class 10. Today, let's do two questions. The first question is a case study based question and the second one is a identity based question from trigonometry. So the first question for the day is, all of the theory, right? Case study has got a lot of stories there. A group of students of class 10 visited India Gate on an education trip. The teacher and the students had interest in history. The teacher narrated India Gate official name, Delhi Memorial. All these stories are not at all needed. Okay. The teacher also said the India Gate, which is located at eastern end of the Rajpath, formerly known as Kingsway, is about. So this is what is the information. All of these you can ignore. Okay. So the students are there at India Gate, okay, which is of height 42 meters. So this is the more important point. The first question is, what is the angle of elevation if they are standing at a distance of 42 meters away from the monument? Now this is something which you can do without even doing, right? So the answer for the first question is, so this is say suppose this is your India Gate, okay, of height 42 meters, and the students are standing at a distance of 42 meters from the India Gate. Okay, this is what is given. What is the angle of elevation? Which means you are asked to find the angle of elevation, right? This is what is the angle of elevation, theta. So again, with respect to this angle theta, this happens to be a perpendicular. This is 90 degrees. So this is your hypotenuse and this is your base. You are given perpendicular and base. So in this particular triangle, you can apply tan theta. Okay, is equal to P by B. P is 42. Base is also 42, which is 1. And tan of 45 degree is 1. So theta is equal to, on comparing, you get theta as 45 degree. So for the first question, the answer is B, 45 degree, right? Let's move on to the second question. They want to see the tower at an angle of 60 degree. So in the second question, okay, the students want to see the tower at an angle of 60 degree. Let's draw that. So they want to know the distance where they should stand and hence the distances. Okay, here also for the second question, again, let's draw the diagram and understand. We know the height of the tower, okay, height of India Gate, which is 42 meters given in the question, right? Okay, so let it be your A, B and C. They want to see the tower at an angle of 60 degree, okay? So they want to know the distance where they should stand. That means this distance they don't know, this D. How far should they stand in order to be able to view the tower? Okay, so that the angle of elevation is 60 degree. So again, it's the same thing here. Okay, this happens to be your perpendicular, hypotenuse and base. So let's apply tan again. So tan 60 is equal to P by B. P is nothing but 42. And base we don't know. Base is nothing but the distance that the student should stand. Okay, what is tan 60? Root of root 3 is equal to 42 by D. So D is nothing but 42 by root 3. Rationalize it. So multiply numerator and denominator by root 3. Right, so this will be 42 root 3 divided by 3. So again, you can cancel this. So 3 into 14 is 42. So 14 root 3 is the answer. 14 root 3, unit is meter. So the correct option is 14 root 3. Let's multiply it. So because it's given in decimals, so 14 into 1.732. Let's multiply. So 1.73 multiplied by 14. So what do you get? 24.22. 24.22 meter is the answer for the second question. 24. So let's see whether you have 24.22. So approximately A is the correct answer. Okay. Because we are not taking the third decimal place, right? So when you're rounding it off, probably it is rounded off to 22.24. Let's move on to the third question. If the altitude of the sun is 60 degree, then the height of the vertical tower that will cast a shadow of 20 meters. Let's do this question, the third question. If the altitude of the sun is 60 degrees, now what are you given? If the altitude of the sun, that is, if theta is equal to 60 degree, then the height of the vertical tower that will cast a shadow of, the shadow is 20 meters. Okay, you have to find the height of the tower, right? So it's the same thing again. Use tan of 60. So tan 60 is equal to P by B. P is nothing but H by B is nothing but 20. Tan 60 is root 3 is equal to H by 20. So what is H? 20 root 3 meters. Okay, so H is nothing but the height of the tower is supposed to be 20 root 3. So this is the right answer. 20 root 3 meter has to be the vertical height of the tower in order for the tower to cast a shadow of length 20 meters. Next question, fourth question. The ratio of the length of the rod and its shadow is 1:1. The angle of elevation of the sun is, so if the rod, the length of the rod, say this is the length of the rod, okay? So this is length is 1x. The shadow is also 1x. Okay, so what will you have? Tan theta equal to 1x by 1x, or 1 by 1, which is 1. Tan 45 is 1, right? Let me write it here. So you are given, okay, fourth question. In a right angle triangle, the length of the rod and the shadow, the ratio is 1:1. You have to find what will be your theta. Let's read the question again. The ratio of the length of the rod and its shadow. Okay, the length of the rod and its shadow, the ratio is 1:1. The angle of elevation of the sun is, so let it be theta. Again, tan theta is equal to 1x by 1x, which is equal to 1, which is tan 45 is 1, right? So on comparing, you get theta is equal to 45 degree. Only if theta is 45 degree, then the perpendicular and base are the same. So the angle is, what is the correct value? Theta is equal to 45. Okay. Next question. The angle formed by the line of sight with the horizontal when the object views below the horizontal level. That means, here, let me do it here itself. Okay, this is the fifth question. So suppose this is the observer, right? The angle formed by the line of sight with the horizontal, okay, this is the horizontal, when the object, this is the object, when the object view is below the horizontal. So what is this called? What is this angle called? The angle formed by the line of sight, this is called the line of sight. Okay, this is called the line of sight. With the horizontal, this is your horizontal. Okay, so what they are asking is, what is the angle formed by the line of sight with the horizontal when the object views below the horizontal level? So this is called as angle of depression. This theta is called as angle of depression. Remember it. Okay, and suppose if you are asked the angle formed by the line of sight with the horizontal, that is ground, when the object view is above the ground, in that case this theta will be angle of elevation, right? So we have done all the 5 questions. This is how you have to do case study questions related to trigonometry. Let's do another question. Okay, if x sine cube theta plus y cos cube theta is equal to sine theta cos theta and x sine theta equal to y cos theta, prove x square plus y square equal to 1. Again, a very, very good question. Let's do. You are given x sine cube theta plus y cos cube theta is equal to sine theta cos theta. Okay. Let us separate out this x sine theta and y cos theta. Okay, so if I separate x sine theta, what will remain is sine square theta, right? Yes, I am taking x and 1 sine theta and separating it out. What will remain is sine square theta. Similarly, I am taking out 1 y and cos theta. What will remain is cos square theta equal to sine theta cos theta. The RHS, no change at all. Now, what are we given? We are given that x sine theta is equal to y cos theta. Right? So, we can replace y cos theta by x sine theta here. So, let's rewrite it. X sine theta multiplied by sine square theta plus, in place of y cos theta, I am going to replace it with x sine theta. So, x sine theta into cos square theta is equal to sine theta cos theta. Let's take this x sine theta common from the two terms. What will remain inside is sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to sine theta cos theta. Okay. Now this, you know, sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Therefore, you can write x sine theta is equal to sine theta into cos theta. This sine theta will get cancelled. So, therefore, x is equal to cos theta. Now, okay, so x equal to cos theta. Now, what are we given? We are given x sine theta equal to y cos theta. Let's write that. Okay, we have x sine theta is equal to y cos theta, right? So what? So let x equal to cos theta be equation 1. So in place of x, I am going to write cos theta. So cos theta multiplied by sine theta is equal to y cos theta, right? So here cos theta and cos theta will get cancelled. So what do we get? Y is equal to sine theta. Let this be equation 2. Therefore, what are we asked? You have to prove that x square plus y square equal to 1. So, we have almost got there. X square plus y square will be, what is x cos theta, right? X square will be cos square theta plus y is sine theta. So, y square will be sine square theta. What is sine square theta plus cos square theta? It is equal to 1. That is equal to RHS, hence proved. So, this is how we have to do such questions. I hope you understood. Let us continue practicing more questions tomorrow. Do let me know if you understood, and if you have any doubts, please post that in the comments, or you can even tell me the topics that you find, the questions that you find it very difficult. Okay, so that's all for today. Happy learning. Practice a lot of questions. Thank you.